Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Matthew here with Crescent Vale. We are doing a self-graded card review of two cards in this video. The same card. It's a 2021-2022 Obsidian. This is a magnitude insert. This is they call it Red Flood, Red Parallel. Cade Cunningham, rookie year. And I really got super into Obsidians. 2021 and specifically with Cade, Jalen Green's rookie year, and these magnitudes were wow. I bought a couple of two, maybe from Jalen Green as well that year. I bought a few of them from different players as well, but this red parallel, kind of bit of a color match for Cade. You know, he's out right now, injury. I think it's collapsed lung is the technical definition for it, but get well soon. Essentially, this video will be reviewing his cards leading up into the playoffs. His team, I believe, is the #1 seed in the East. So they're doing still fairly well, even though he is injured and out right now. But when he's back, hopefully he'll be able to contribute to the team in a meaningful way. So yeah, each video that we do a disclaimer. It's in the description of each video, as well as we do our best to include it verbally. It's where the grades are not guaranteed to cross over at any grading company at that grade. The monetary value is not guaranteed to increase or decrease with the grade. This is basically our best assessment of the grades. And let's get into it. So we're going to take the first card, which is a little more centered version of the two here. It's on the right. And it's currently up on the eBay. The less centered, left heavy, Cade on the left, is going to be a card that we grade second. And we're just going to I think it's, I don't want to say neat, but interesting, slightly different, that we kind of take a look at the same card twice and see how that centering is really going to impact the grade. I have kind of seen, I've heard the edges and the corner specifically is where some grading companies maybe are more, they put that higher on the priority list. But personally, I don't know. I think I would honestly, because it's like the look and the feel of it, and the look is the centering. So it's, for me, here's another example where I would, if I was trying to not be completely holistic in the grading, this is where I would say the centering, we're going to grade this card soon, is higher on the priority scale when creating that final grade. But really, each of the subgrades I take into consideration equally. But just like this card specifically, the centering, and also I think it's like Beam Team. The centering, I think, is the look when you see it immediately. You can't always tell when there's slight edge and corner wear, and you can sometimes see the surface. I also think that's pretty important. But just first look at a card, it almost feels like you should be able to tell the value and the condition just by a quick first look. And centering does that. You have to really dig in sometimes to some of these other attributes. But let's get in and look at the centering. And let's start with the centering on both of these, since that is the point of, I don't want to say contention, but definitely a point of interest. There we go. So this is leaning towards, and 3 is really nice if we get 3 across, top, down, bottom. This is a little bit shy of 3 on the right side. We're doing the left side. A little bit shy of 3 there as well. So far we're starting off with the left and the right centering being very similar. It looks like the bottom, and you can kind of even see that's a little bit closer to the dead on 3 spot. So we can kind of take that in consideration, that the bottom is a little bit more if you want to call it a discrepancy. That's kind of what I frame it as. So we had a dead on 3 for the bottom. And then here, I would say it's shy of 3. So the bottom it's a little bit, you could call it bottom heavy on the front. So one discrepancy out of the 3 is a little bit heavier on the bottom. I think that's also pretty noticeable on the back of the card. If we use the anchor point for the lettering as our anchor point, it'll probably be closer to that 3, maybe even a little bit over. Let's see. A little bit over on the back, which I always find interesting if the front and back differ. That's almost 4 on the back. And I would say it's probably 2 at the top. So even the centering, on which I would like to consider the more centered card out of the two, the top to bottom centering is a little off. So these cards, and not all of them, yeah, this is closer to 2 here. Not all of them, but yeah, there is discrepancies in the centering. Even the one that I kind of was hoping was a little bit more centered, but it's okay. Between 3.5 on the left, close to 2 on the top. So yeah, pretty close left and right on that back of the card, but there is discrepancies top to bottom. So let's go ahead and come up with a number for centering on this one, which is never easy. There is top to bottom issues. Left to right is about on. So, and the amount of distance that it's off by is kind of considerable. So 8.5 on centering for this one is where I'm going to land. I think the centering, I actually was hoping the centering would be better on this one, but let's take a look at the edges and the corners now. We'll just do it in one swoop. There's a bit of edge wear there, so we'll kind of mark that down for that bit of edge wear. It's there as well. It's like that's leaning towards an 8.5. That could even be surface. I'm going to consider that edge wear. Yeah, kind of considerable when you see it underneath the light at certain angles. Because right there, that edge looks, perfect. But whenever you kind of just tilt it at certain angles, it's more noticeable. A little bit of, what would you call that? Whitening on the edges. Not as bad now. It might have just been a piece of excess. Corners look great. I'm not really seeing too many issues with the corners. Do have some edge wear on that left side. See how the back edges look. This top edge is not bad. I don't really see many issues there. Not a lot of issues there. Corners I'm leaning towards a 9.5. Edges, probably 8.5. So we'll go ahead and mark that, and then we'll take a look at the surface. So far we have 2 8.5s and 1 9.5. Not seeing, there's a bit, I think, is that or is that not part of, and it might have been because I was cleaning this earlier. Let's see if that reduces that. Yeah, that is not an issue to the surface. Not seeing any issues on the surface. I think I might have seen something on the back. We'll take a look at that in a second. Like some small indentation lines are right in here. You can kind of call them indentation lines there on the right side of the card. Very minor. Let's see here. We'll see if this impacts. You can kind of see there, top right area. There's definitely like a dent on it as well. So that kind of drops it down to an 8.5. Let's just make sure that some of this other part is part of the card. No, so yeah, I do think an 8.5 on this card overall is where we're landing. There's 195, but really 8.5, near mint to better, is where I'd land on this card. We're going to be putting them in the Zion slabs, and we're going to put a custom label to it. And then this card is currently up on the eBay channel, and we will just basically update the listing with the slab and the grade. So anyone who's maybe already currently watching this card, who will be watching it in the future, be going to this nice slab, and we will put a custom label to it. Okay, so an 8.5 overall for that card, and interesting that we'll see if this card can get above or below an 8.5. I do like a similar card kind of series in the same one, so we can best assess the condition. So yeah, let's just kind of go ahead and measure this left to right, and this looks like 2 on the right, and on the left looks like 3.5. So discrepancies here about 3. A little bit shy of 3 at the top. So some discrepancies, and you can even see a little bit of discrepancy on the back too. The left to right is a little bit off, just 2. Three. Not really that bad, just 1 millimeter off, but still discrepancies. Looks like about 2 at the top. Looks like 3 to 4 at the bottom. So as we gave the last one 8.5 for the center, I think an 8 would be a more appropriate for the centering on this one. So we will mark that down for an 8. And now we'll take a look at the edges and the corners. And that last one is kind of like just the left edge had some wear to it. So I'm not seeing that on this one as much. Really nice edges here, almost at this corner, or at this angle. You can see a little bit that top. Very minor. Take a look at this edge. So the edges, I believe, are better on this card. Super sharp here. Really nice. And the corners are looking really good too. That is really nice. Maybe a 9.5 on both of those. I would get a kick out of the card that I originally thought would not score as well, scoring higher. Look, that's just a sharp corner right there. That is nice. Edges are sharp. Let's take a look at the back. So a bit of corner wear here. Still some whitening. So that'll drop it down to a 9 on the corners, but the edges get a 9.5. So 9 on the corners. Corners 9, edges 9.5. So we have, we're basically looking at a 9 on the slightly more off-center card. Unless we find anything wrong with the surface, we'll probably end up with a 9. Pretty clean surface overall. Check the back. Some small indentation lines. And we already took that corner into consideration. Small indentation. I could do a 9.5 on the surface for this. So that would be an 8.5 to a 9. So in between a 9 and a 9.5. And I think a 9, I think we were saying that, a 9 for this card overall. So that's really interesting that this card originally, with a little bit more off-centering, had fewer overall issues. And we were kind of saying, does a specific subgrade prioritize the overall grade? And for me, it doesn't. Now, other graders, it could. Corners could also be prioritized. But these are 55-point Zion cases. We will have this card that's already up on eBay kind of updated. And then we will have this card that is going to be new to the eBay page added. Thank you for watching. Continue to watch.